So one thing we talk about at Waypoint a lot is how we're all designed to live in community. And so being a part of community groups over the last few years has really pushed me to think outside of myself. I think it can be easy to think about my life and my problems and my to-do list. And when I show up at community group, God invites me into the lives of other people and to see how the gospel is good in their lives. And so I see more of who God is in community than I could on my own.
Being in a community group here at Waypoint has really helped me personally in my relationship with God, mostly seeing how God is so evident in community, I think allows me to see who God is more personally. Sometimes he becomes this theological idea, but community brings him down to earth. And recently having our first child and just doing a lot of day-to-day repetitive things, it is so good to see how God cares about those things, and he does so through people in community reaching out to us.
How has being in a community group been a blessing to our family? We call it a community group, but it's really our friend group. We do everything together. We watch each other's kids, we hang out together, we joke around together.
I have a group of people, specifically a group of women, who are pretty much in the same phase of life as me. We lean on each other. It's very comforting to have that backup. When I first joined the community group I'm in, I was in a really bad place mentally. I struggled a lot with depression and anxiety and fitting in and finding a place where I felt accepted. It did not take long for that community group to just surround me in prayer, checking on me constantly. It pulled me out of that hole, and I really felt wrapped in love.
About a year ago, my husband and I launched a new community group to reach Chatham County and really walk alongside other people as we walk along Jesus. We're getting an up close and personal view into people's lives and how God is working in their families. Overall, it's been really simple. We get questions from the pastors and we just bring them to the group and use them to facilitate a discussion. And like probably a lot of other people, we feel like we have very little margin to put towards this in our life. Our kids are 3 and 5. We both work full time. And so more often than not, on a Tuesday night, our community group is showing up to a messy house and rambunctious children and us pulling in the driveway right out of work. What we found is despite that, people really long for genuine community and real relationships. And what's more genuine than that? And so we've really been extremely blessed by leading this community group and being a part of this ministry at Waypoint.
For our family, I thought it would be harder to continue to lead when we had a kid, but I almost think it's easier now because our community group specifically has just so quickly jumped into trying to meet our needs so that we can continue to lead and facilitate conversation and a space to learn more about the Lord and just be with each other. And I think our son Bennett has really helped us see that we don't have to be all made up and perfect in order to lead. We just have to be willing to be there, be willing to invite people into our lives and go into their lives without being perfect. And I think that's allowed me to, again, see God even bigger. If you're considering helping or even just thinking about leading a community group, I think that's already a seed that's planted, and maybe you just need to step out.
If you haven't yet joined a community group, I think you are really missing out. It would be a good step in your walk with Christ. It's so important to have people who you can rely on. It's important to have people to hold you accountable. I would recommend stepping out of your comfort zone if that's something you struggle with, to try to make community a priority in your walk with Christ, because we can't do it alone.
How Acts describes what church looks like, what that people is like. It describes people who are meeting in each other's homes. They're in each other's living rooms. They're eating together. They're praying together. It's not said enough that making friends as an adult is really hard. And so if you have not yet found a community group, I would say we all know that what the Bible describes as church is what we all really want. There is a group here at Waypoint who would love to have you join them.